Today, we are diving deep into Cormac McCarthy's modern classic, No Country for Old Men. Now, on the surface, sure, it's a crime thriller, but trust me, you dig just a little bit deeper, and what you find is this brutal, brilliant look at fate, evil, and an America that just feels like it's losing its way. All right, let's just jump right in with the question that kicks this whole thing off. Seriously, think about it for a second. You're out in the middle of nowhere, there's nobody around, and you find a case with $2 million inside. What do? Your answer to that one question? Well, that's where our story begins. Because that single choice is the spark that lights the fuse. So let's set the scene, shall we? We're in the desolate, sun-scorched borderlands of West Texas, way back in the 1980s. This is a place where one man's decision is about to unleash a chain of events so violent, so relentless, that nothing can stop it. And here's our guy, Llewelyn Moss. He's a Vietnam vet, a tough guy who knows how to handle himself. He's out hunting and just happens to stumble upon this total bloodbath, a drug deal gone sideways. And right there, in the middle of it all, is the briefcase. He thinks he's smart enough. He thinks he can get away with it. He takes the money. And in that one moment, his old life is completely over. See, that decision doesn't just put Moss on the run. It puts him on a collision course with two other men, a relentless hunter and a world-weary sheriff. And what unfolds isn't just a chase for some stolen cash. No, it's more like a moral war, fought between three guys who couldn't be more different. So first up, you've got Moss. He's not a bad man, not really. He's just proud. He's resourceful, he's tough, and he is absolutely convinced he can outsmart anyone who comes looking for that money. He basically represents that very human belief that we're in control of our own destiny, that if we're just clever enough, we can win. And who's hunting him? This guy, Anton Chigurh. And I'm not exaggerating when I say he's one of the most terrifying villains ever put to paper. He's less of a man and more of a ghost, a force of nature. He kills people with a cattle gun and lives by this bizarre, rigid personal code. To him, he's just an agent of fate. And then there's the man trying to make sense of it all, Sheriff Ed Tom Bell. He's this aging lawman, and he's really the soul of the whole novel. As Moss runs and Chigurh hunts, Sheriff Bell just reflects. He simply cannot wrap his head around the kind of cold, senseless violence that Chigurh brings with him. He is literally the old man that the title is talking about. So this collision between the three of them, it's about way more than a briefcase full of money. McCarthy is using this story to ask one of the oldest questions in the book. How much control do we really have over our own lives? And this right here is the heart of it. On one side, you have Moss, running for his life, absolutely believing that his choices matter, that he can outthink this thing. And on the other side, you've got Chigurh, who thinks choice is a complete illusion. For him, the world has already decided your path. And his famous coin toss, that's the ultimate expression of it. He's taking himself out of the equation and just letting chance do the dirty work. You see, that's what makes the evil in this book so unique and so darn scary. Chigurh isn't motivated by greed. He doesn't even want the money. He's not driven by passion or revenge. He's just this impersonal, unstoppable thing, working on a logic that no one else understands. You can't reason with it, you can't bargain with it, it just is. And nobody sees this terrifying new reality more clearly than Sheriff Bell. He looks at guys like Chigurh and he just feels obsolete. You have to remember, he comes from a time when lawmen in his part of the country didn't even carry guns. Now he's up against a monster, and all he can say is that the country itself has become harsh. Now, you can't talk about this book without talking about how it's written. What makes this story so powerful isn't just the plot. The writing style itself is just as stark and brutal as the Texas landscape he's describing. Just look at this line on the screen. See what's missing? Yeah, no quotation marks. McCarthy gets rid of them entirely. And what that does is it blurs the line between what people are saying and what's happening. It pulls you right into the scene, forcing you to pay super close attention. It feels raw, unfiltered. It's all part of his signature style. The prose is so spare, so direct, it feels like it's been chipped out of stone. This makes the action scenes feel incredibly fast and tense. But then, he'll slam on the brakes and give you one of Sheriff Bell's long, slow, philosophical monologues. That contrast between the brutal action and the quiet reflection, it's everything. It's the whole conflict of the book, right there in the rating style. So, when you put it all together, the characters, the plot, the style, what you're left with is a book that is not trying to make you feel good. It absolutely refuses to give you any easy answers. And honestly, that's exactly why it sticks with you. And McCarthy builds this really unsettling world using these incredibly powerful symbols. That coin toss, it's not just a gimmick, it's Chigurh completely washing his hands of any moral responsibility. The desert isn't just a setting, its emptiness mirrors the moral emptiness of the story. And then you have Sheriff Bell's dreams about his father, which are pretty much the only flicker of hope you're going to get, this faint search for some kind of light in all that darkness. This is why the ending hits so hard. It doesn't give you that satisfying final showdown where the good guy wins. It denies you that closure on purpose, because in the real world, evil doesn't get wrapped up in a neat little bow. The story just stops, and we're the ones left to sit with the wreckage. And all of that brings us to the one haunting question that Sheriff Bell can't shake, and the one McCarthy leaves with us. Is the world actually getting worse? Is it really more violent and senseless than it used to be? Or is that just what every generation thinks as they get older and watch the world they knew just fade away? The book never answers. It just leaves that question hanging there in the silence.